It's so exciting to be here tonight to help celebrate the 66th birthday of the Phillips 66 Splash Club. It's been amazing what has happened here, and we have to recognize, of course, that without Phillips Petroleum Company, there would be nothing. So my hat is off to Phillips Petroleum Company for their sponsoring the Splash Club and really caring about swimming and so many individuals. Made a couple notes here. Ken Treadway. Wow. I was coaching at a college back east, and I saw an ad in the magazine, Swimming World magazine, about an opening for a coach's job. And I got a hold of Ken. Ken invited me to come out here and talk to me about the possibility of being here. And this man is so unusual. I can remember one time we were walking in the tunnel to the other building, and people would pass us and they would say, "Hi, Ken, hi, Ken." And one guy said, "How are you doing?" And he said, "Great, great!" And his enthusiasm was really something. One of his major messages that I've remembered through all of the experiences after I left here was his comment about, "I know why it can't be done. Let's talk about how it can be done." And we need to all remember that. We need to remember that. I've remembered it for years, wherever I've been. But without the company doing all they did to help us, of course, this program wouldn't exist. But the parents, unbelievable what they have done for the program. And we, when I was here, of course, had an advisory board for the coach, and they did so many things. They were so outstanding. And one person I'll never forget is a person who I think might be here tonight, Hi Staten. Is Hi here? He was always helping in any way he could and came up with all kinds of ideas. And I was somewhat, or maybe more than somewhat, reluctant in doing what anybody wanted to do or thought might be good. But I had a list of all the age groups and their best times, all the way down to the last time in each event. And after a time trial or a meet, I would take those papers home, and I loved seeing the improvement that each kid was making. And I would handwrite a new list and put it up on the bulletin board. And one day Hi came up and said, "John, you know, there's another way that could be done. There's something called the computer." And then Hi started doing the times, and that helped so much. The trips were fun, but I remember too that the kids were important. And during the trips, I would try to find interesting things where we could just enjoy that part of the country. Like on one trip, we went to the Mayo Clinic. And I think from that group, 32 swimmers, I think 6 became doctors. And we went to the Hormel packing plant. And I remember Mary Pearl looking up at the pigs that were hanging there and saying, "The pigs' tails aren't curly anymore." on each trip, I would try to have a college coach talk to the group. We were going on a trip to Florida, and I knew the coach at Florida State by the name of Ben Stoltz. And I asked him if he would talk to our group, and the idea was to help the swimmers to learn how important a college education could be. And I told them about one of the kids on our team by the name of Terry Mall. And so he spoke with Terry at that time, and Terry ended up going to Florida State on a scholarship. I talked to Terry about 2 days ago, and he's been through challenges like we all have, and he explained different things in his life and how important things have been. And he now is coaching a very large swimming team in Tallahassee, Florida, and is very successful. And he wanted to be here, but his son, 17-year-old son, wanted him to go with him somewhere. And Terry said, I'd love to be at the Splash Club event, but I don't know how long my son will want me to go with him anywhere. So he's there. A couple months ago, I was in San Diego, and I had lunch with one of our well-known swimmers by the name of Richard Walls. I don't know if Richard is here. I don't think so. But he ended up being a judge for the military and did so many things, but he ended up, after being here, going to University of Michigan and being the captain of the team and swimming in the nationals and the finals of the 100 freestyle. But there are all these people, and I have to tell this story. I remember we had a girl on our team by the name of Carol Merrifield. And the guys used to call her a toothpick because she was very thin. And I said, look, one of these days, Carol is going to be a beautiful woman, and you'll regret what you've been saying. And they go, oh, yeah. Well, Carol is unbelievable. Where's Carol? Will she stand? Stand up here. Carol is a doctor in the San Francisco area. I remember coming here and talking to Ken about my idea. My idea was that you can develop a great swimming team anywhere in the world if you know how to do it. And Ken agreed with that. And when I told people I was going to Bartlesville, Oklahoma, they said, where? And they said, where is that? What are the closest towns? I said, well, 50 miles away is Tulsa. And they just couldn't, you're going to try to develop a swimming team there? And when I got here, I saw what was here. I saw the facility and the company, but the parents. And one of the most famous coaches, American coaches that ever lived, stood up at a conference one time and said the place where he would like to be a coach is at an orphanage because there are no parents there. And he ended up being an Olympic coach. But the parents are so important and have been and have done so very much. Bruce was up here and talking about the Hall of Fame and what Phillips has done. Bruce has done such an outstanding job at the Hall of Fame, and if you're ever in Fort Lauderdale, you need to get to see that facility. I've mentored many people over the years, and I continually talk to them about the important fact that you all need to raise your level of expectation for yourself. Raise your level of expectation for yourself. You can do so much more. We can all do so much more. And people ask me, are you retired? And I say, I'm not tired. They say, no, I said retired. I say, I'm not tired. And they said, well, do you work? I said, my work is my play. And my office is my playground. And I've never been anywhere near as happy as I am today. My life is so beautiful. And a person that has helped me to be where I am is my significant other of 10 years, Helga. And will you stand, Helga, so you can be recognized? A number of you have received a copy of my business card. And I hand these out wherever I go. When I worked in the Middle East and Bahrain and Saudi, and when I traveled to Syria and to Iraq, and what I handed out my business card, and on the center it had, how are you today? And the 10 answers that you might hear. And number 10 is sensational. And that's what I am. Anybody that asks me how I'm doing, I'm sensational. And I can recall when I worked at a facility, I had an employee that was either up there or down here. And she'd walk into the facility, maybe like that, or walk in, hey, how are you? Hi. So she was up here one day and down here the next day, up and down. But it's all based on something that we call choices. We all have choices that we can make in our life. And the choices that we've made in the past got us where we are today. And the choices that we make from now on will get us where we're going. So remember how important choices are. There's so many people out there having a pity party. And we don't need to do that. It's our choice. So any of you that would like a copy of my card during the evening, let me know and I'll be happy to give you one. But it's so exciting to be here and to see Ken being honored for all he's done. And over the years, he's done more and more and more all the time. And we're all capable of doing more than we are now. So I encourage you to live life to its fullest each and every day. Because there can be, I know, world peace. I've been all over the Arab world, and in all the years I was there, I had 2 cases of little problems, but other than that, nothing. But I believe there can be world peace. And each one of us plays a major role in peace in this world. So I encourage you to do all you can to spread peace and love and understanding. And one of the important things is forgiveness. I'm from Pennsylvania. And oh my golly, people hold these things for years. Well, 40 years ago, he called me this, and that's why I don't talk to him. And I've done a lot of dumb things in this world. Not only as a kid, but as an adult. The big important word is forgiveness. Who hasn't done something different? So this guy drinks a little bit too much and does some dumb stuff that affect a lot of people. Forgiveness is what life is all about. We all need, and I'd appreciate it if you would forgive me for all the dumb things I've done and said and whatever, because I love life and I love all of you, and thank you very much for inviting me to be here. What an exciting event. Thank you.